what's going on, guys? Memory Loss Rider here, and I finally have a microphone for my GoPro. Now, it's probably not the best sounding microphone. I'm still kind of learning all of it, but you know, I'd rather y'all be with me on my process of learning, because I've been through like 4 or 5 days of trial and error, and I'm getting pretty pissed off. So I finally got the microphone to sound pretty good. It's still going to be a little bit quiet in post and video, and I'm still just trying to figure that out. So just kind of bear with me a little bit. But anyways, new bike here. TikTok saw it first, but this is the 2023 CF Moto CLX 700 Sport. So this is the Sport Edition with the my brain's a little scrambled. I just got done washing the bike, actually. Let's try to swap it over sport mode with the oh god, it doesn't have regular handlebars, is what I'm trying to say. It has, I always forget the name of these things, even though my last 3 bikes had them. Clamp-ons, with clamp-on bars, single rear seat, or single seat, not the dual seat like the Heritage has. Bar end mirrors, which I actually love, and I accidentally messed mine up during the washing process. That looks about right. But I gotta run a few errands today, meet up with some friends, and I'm gonna take y'all along with me for the whole ride. Now, I hope the video quality is fantastic. We're actually heading to Best Buy right now. I have a 128 gigabyte micro SD card in my GoPro, and last night I saw Best Buy had a 256 Samsung Pro micro SD card for like $23 or $24. So I went ahead and ordered that in store pickup, and we are headed to go get it. Plus, I'm meeting up with a friend. We're riding out to their house for their niece's birthday party. So I'm gonna go talk about the features of the bike. So of course, this being the CF Moto 700 CLX Sport, we got Eco and Sport mode. I have cruise control, my horn, my blinkers. Speaking of modes, this is a better time to do it when I'm actually paying attention to the light. Let's not forget, I have full disc Brembo all the way around, single or dual disc Brembo in the front, single disc Brembo in the rear, and man, it shows exceptionally well. There have been a few instances, even though I'm still in my break-in period, there have been some instances where I have needed those brakes pretty heavily. Either I'm getting brake checked or something of that nature, and so, you know, it is really nice to have. The cruise control is very nice to have. I can sit here hands-free and just really enjoy the ride, and I love that feature, because, you know, when I'm heading this way and I'm going around the circle, that's what my city is known for, is our circle. I can just pop cruise control on and just go and not have a worry in the world. We have multiple highways leaving my city, and it is very nice. I really enjoy cruise control. I'm really loving the feature. None of my previous bikes had it. And yes, you can say, oh, well, you can buy cruise control for motorcycles. It's just something that goes on your grip. I did not want that. I have seen them. I have looked at them, seen how they work. And I just was not a fan of having to either screw something down on this end or this end of my handlebar, or have a lever that kind of drops right here for preventing my handlebar or my throttle from going back forward. So I optimized with one-touch cruise control, just built into the bike. I mean, even like a BMW S1000RR, some of the newer models, it cost $18,000 to have that put on your bike. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a super sport bike. That bike is meant for high speeds and sharp cornering. But at the same time, $18,000 to have that done. A little 6-gear pull. This thing has power sitting behind it, and it has it very well. Sport mode. The bike base, no matter what, you make 72 horsepower, and I think it's 50.2 foot-pounds of torque, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually still not bad. my previous motorcycle, well, one of my previous bikes, my Shadow 750, it made 46 horsepower and 44 foot-pounds of torque. So this only makes 6 more foot-pounds of torque. Well, that bike also had 82,000 miles, but factory to factory, this bike only makes 6 more foot-pounds of torque. But I can heavily feel the difference. And yes, you could say, well, the gearing's different. Of course, I understand that completely. But just in outright power delivery, my Shadow never sent me back. Ooh, almost wheelied by accident. That was almost complete accident. Holy hell. Like I said, this thing has power. The power band sits at around 5,000 RPM is when you enter the bottom side of the power band, and then it just skyrockets straight up. And it is an incredible feeling, especially because you're in braking period, so you can't, I mean, some people will say, you know, open the bike all the way and you know, give it pure hell during braking period. Some people say do exactly what the instruction says. I say I'd like my warranty to stay in place, so I'm going to do exactly what the instruction says. Just because this thing does come factory with a 2-year warranty. 2 years. Kawasaki, Suzuki, Honda, Yamaha, they all do a 1-year warranty. Even Harley Davidson, you spend 50 grand on a bike, you get a 1-year warranty. I mean, that's insane. Especially Harley Davidson, you spend 50 grand. $50,000. Some people don't make that much in 1 year. Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't make anywhere near that in 1 year. Nowhere close. And like, I mean, that is, I make a whole lot less. And you still want to get a 1-year warranty. You pay less than $10,000. You pay $7,200 for this bike. You get a 2-year warranty. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people are not going to like it because it is a Chinese motorcycle. CF Moto is a Chinese brand. It's not Japanese, so it's not like your other brands. It's not Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha. Am I thinking of Yamaha? Honda, those are your Japanese brands. Even cars, Acura, stuff like that, Hyundai, you know, those are your Japanese brands. But you know, you got Husqvarna, that's Sweden, a Swedish brand. You got Harley Davidson, of course, that's an American brand. Buell is American. But since this thing is Chinese, and China gets such a bad hate for the products that you get out of China, even though about everything we get is from China. I'm sure the products that are on your Suzuki or your Yamaha are probably from China, just titled from Japan. I'm sure some of the products come from China. So, you know, for a Chinese bike, this thing is very well built. I am in love with it. I haven't had any problems out of it. The only con I could say that I have is the blinkers. The blinkers, they're just annoying. It's not like, you know, I'm going to get rid of this bike because of these blinkers. Not one bit. But they have an auto off feature, you know, a self-cancellation feature. And it's after like 50 yards. Yeah, this thing just gets on it. And it's very nice. But after like 50 yards, the blinkers will just auto turn off. So if you're coming up to a turn and it's a little bit more than 50 yards away, you are going to have to reactivate your blinkers. And that, to me, is just annoying. It's just annoying to have to deal with. But at the same time, you have auto canceling blinkers. So it is good to know if you forget that your blinkers are on, they're going to turn off after 50 yards. Now, if you're at a red light and, you know, I know you probably won't be able to tell right away, but you went 40 yards at a red light. Once you start moving on that red light, you hit that 50th yard, this joker's turning off. So it's not like you have to go another 50 yards after you have stopped, which is, I mean, it's not a bad feature. I've learned, I kind of just trained myself to where when I come up to a turn, I flick it. I know what feels about 20 to 30 feet. I flick it again, then I do it, and I flick it again. And then when I finally get to my red light, my turn, I just flick it one more time. And it is a little annoying having to like do that constantly. And I'll say now that I'm back in, some days when I'm driving my car, like tomorrow it's supposed to rain, so I'll be on my car. I don't like riding in rain. It is annoying because I've gotten to where in my car I am turning my blinker on. I'll sit at a stop sign for a while, or haven't made it to my turn, and I'll end up turning my blinker back off and back on. So You know, there's little nitpicky features like that like can mess up your everyday driving, but I don't do it often. I've only done it 1 or 2 times in my car where I've done that, and then like I realized what I was doing. So, you know, it's just kind of hit and miss for the person. But look at this beautiful view. Beautiful day outside. I mean, it's a little chilly. We're probably sitting about 63 degrees, and personally, my sweet zone is in the high 60s, low 70s. About 72 is where I like to be at on a day-to-day riding basis. That is my perfect weather ride style. And so, see, if y'all can go see them coming up here, it will turn off on me. Maybe it finally did, so I'm gonna turn it back on, and then I'm just gonna turn it off myself. To some people, they don't like the blinkers. You don't get a tactile, crisp feeling when you turn them, when you go to use your blinkers. Like you would on older bikes, you kind of put a little bit more pressure down, not like hefty pressure, but just a little bit more to get you know, your blinker to turn on. This one, it is very subtle, and I thought I wouldn't like that when I watched other reviewers' videos and they were talking about it, and I was like, oh man, I'm going to hate the blinkers. I have to break them in and make them really work. But I'll admit, I have loved them from day one. They have been amazing, and they're my absolute favorite. So let's see here. And I really wish there was a bike parking spot up here, just meant for bikers. And man, that is a beautiful Bronco. Look at that Bronco. Oh my lord, that joker is beautiful. I'm not curbside, but I did already have the part ordered to be picked up, so we're just gonna walk aside and